Hello everybody, I am on today to talk about being a multi-passionate side hustler. My name is Joanne Machin. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I used to work in residence life, and then I worked in career services. So I spent 4 years total in higher education, during which I spent maybe 3 to 6 months during my full-time jobs developing my side hustle. Eventually, I moved into HR in corporate. I'm no longer doing that. As of December 31st, I quit my day job. I was in a semi-toxic environment, and in that toxic environment, I said, enough is enough, and I took a break, which is what I'm doing now in order to recover my mental health. Right now, I am a career and life coach. I love helping millennials and ambitious women really take the jump to be the best, most authentic version of themselves and reconnect with their purpose and their passions to live more fulfilled lives. I help people who are career transitions, either at the beginning of their career, mid-career, late career, help people develop confidence in their materials, develop confidence in their skills and experience in order to connect their current skills to their dream job, basically. So in addition to being a coach, I'm also working on my first full-length novel. I am a writer, and I'm actually launching a short story in an anthology like tomorrow. And so I'm a writer. In addition to all of that, I'm also a freelance copy editor. I know that's a lot, but it's kind of the nature of being a multi-passionate person. I know that there are folks out there who may resonate with this, but I'm the kind of person who likes being busy. I'm the kind of person who likes having a lot of different interests, having a lot of different balls in the air, all that kind of stuff. So I am also a really curious person. I'm not a person who likes to stay still. I'm a person who likes to explore a lot of different things. I'm excited about a lot of different interests. And I think there's a lot of advice out there for folks to quote unquote niche down. And I don't think that people necessarily need to niche down. I think there are pros and cons to this, right? But again, if you're a type of person who is like me, who has a lot of different interests, I think there is a way for you to work through all of that interest. So a little bit about me. When I was first a side hustler, I was in career services, I think, and I began editing. I first began by helping friends and family members edit and polish their admissions essays, their scholarship essays. I wasn't writing it for them. I was just editing, just to clear that up. I was helping them polish their writing, get their ideas really clear. And in doing that, I realized I really like helping people improve their writing. This is something that's really important to me. I love helping people get their voice out there. I love to help people tell their stories. So that was really cool. And that just kind of started snowballing. I was in career services, and I also was developing resumes and cover letters and helping people with their interview skills at the time. So simultaneously, I was also developing skills to be a career coach, and I really enjoyed doing that. So I was able to help people do that outside of my 9 to 5. And so I had that skill set. I said, why not? I'm here to help people. I love helping people look for jobs. I love helping people develop their careers. Why not? So I added that on top of editing. I was doing career coaching, and then I left student affairs, and suddenly I had this 9 to 5 time. I had this 9 to 5 work-life balance, and I suddenly had so much time. And I've always been interested since I was very young to basically make a living as a writer. That was always a really big thing for me. It was really important. I've always loved writing. And I started networking. I became active members in a lot of Facebook groups where people were doing content writing, were doing copy editing, were doing writing news articles and pitching. And I thought, this is so interesting. There are people out there who are making a lot of money, who are making their full-time income from writing. And so I started doing content writing, and I was connected to several different companies doing content writing as well as copy editing at that time. So if you are keeping track, I have my 9 to 5 job. I was helping people editing their essays. I was also doing career coaching, and now I was doing content writing. And some of you are maybe feeling secondhand stress as I'm going through this list. But what was really effective was I had interests, and I really wanted to develop. I really wanted to chase all of those interests. I had the time to do it, and I knew that I was capable of doing it as a writer. And I said, why not? So I was doing content writing. I also became really familiar in a lot of circles of authors. And at this point, I know it sounds really overwhelming. And I will tell you right up front, I was overwhelmed. I was burnt out at several different points. But I started working with a business coach, Kaylee, and I was really, she was really helping me get clear on what I wanted my side hustle to actually be. And she was really encouraging, saying like, you don't have to niche down if you don't want to. If your business means you doing all these different things, then you do you, and you embrace what is best for you. So I was doing content writing. Eventually I stopped doing content writing, and I really want to encourage you all to quit things that aren't like your thing. I fell into content writing, did some content writing for some while, and found it wasn't really a good fit for what I wanted to do, and so I stopped. And so there are a lot of different ways for you to incorporate your many different interests into your side hustles. Having a side hustle doesn't mean you have to like pigeonhole yourself into one thing. It is okay for you to like dip your toes into something, to give it a try, and to just say, that wasn't for me. That's totally fine. So in all, I've worked so many different jobs. I was a copy editor, I was a content writer, I was a career coach, I'm still a career coach, I am still an editor. I eventually got my copy editing certification at the University of San Diego, which I just finished in December. I was creating social media content for authors, and now I am doing a bunch of other things. And so there's several different ways for you to approach this. I had a period of time where I was juggling a lot of different hats, but the way I made it work for me, I was really in a stage in my life where I was privileged to have like full-time income. That full-time income was helping me, stabilize my finances, and having my finances stabilized meant I can spend my free time pursuing my interests. And what that really looked like when I first began was just thinking to myself, what am I interested in? What am I interested in doing to get paid for something? What am I interested in doing not getting paid for something? And so that was really like me making a list. I love coaching. I love social media. I love editing, and I loved writing, and I was just trying to find ways and find networks that would support me generating income from those things. And I think there's something you can do for whatever your interests are. There's something you can do out there. And so if you have a list of interests, it's okay for you to be a multi-passionate person and to be doing all the things. I would encourage you to think about how I can, if you want to, monetize, create income using your interests. And there's different ways for you to do this. You can be the type of person who has all of their balls up in there all at the same time. Like me, I was doing content writing, I was editing, I was coaching, I was doing social media content, I was a VA at one point, but you don't have to do that. You can also be a type of person who maybe chooses one thing at a time, right? You can spend the next 3 months saying, I want to learn how to copy edit, or I want to develop a business around tidying, or I want to learn more about coaching. You spend the next 3 months either giving it a try, just go out there, dip your toes and say, hey, I want to recruit 2 beta clients for my home organization business or for my life coaching business, and give that a try. Beta clients means it is a trial for you, it's a trial for them. You give yourself a limited amount of time to give it a try, and if you love it, keep going. If you don't love it, it's okay for you to stop and just collect yourself and re-strategize. You can also be the type of person who, spends a lot of time just doing that one thing. And if you're doing that one thing, it's totally fine for you to, continue doing that thing for a really long time. I think that there are also people out there who love taking classes. If there is something you're interested in, I would visit Coursera. I'll pop a link in the comments of what that is. There's a lot of free courses on Coursera where you can do a lot of self-directed learning. There's also LinkedIn Learning, which I think is paid. There's also Udemy, UDUMY, and there are so many different free learning materials out there for you to investigate and for you to invest in to learn more about what's out there. Outside of those 3, I would also check your local library and also check your local community college. If there's something that really, really deeply interests you, I would definitely pursue it in a way that works for you, whether that's a really structured class or that's self-directed learning at the library. And then, of course, I think the third way for you to think more about generating income as a multi-passionate person is just to start networking. And I know that's a really scary word for a lot of people. A lot of us have difficulties talking to strangers, and I completely understand that. But a lot of my success stories have come from me just asking people, how did you get started with what your business, what you're interested in? What was most successful as far as certifications, business strategies you took? And then, what do you love most about what you do? What are the challenges? Keep asking questions, and the questions will lead you to the right answers. And again, it's totally okay for you just to put feelers out there, to give things a try. And then if those things don't work out, it's okay for you to quit and just leave it as is. So again, my name is Joanne Machin. I am a life and career coach. I'm a copy editor and I'm a writer. I am also one of the coaches in SA Pro to CEO, and I'm really excited if this is a program that you are interested in popping into. This is my 4th cohort. I've literally been in every single cohort since the beginning of the program, and I think it's a brilliant program, and I think it's worth every dollar you invest in it. And there's so much content, and I think the community that you have helps you build the incredible momentum that you need to develop your business. So if you have any questions about anything I do, editing, coaching, social media, writing, feel free to let me know, and let me know if this was helpful, if my story was helpful, it resonates with you. If you're the kind of person who likes having a lot going on, who has 1,000 interests, I'm there with you. And I hope that I will see you around.